Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is a game where you play as 5-time winner of the Least Strip Award, Cal. The game starts with you violating multiple workspace safety protocols whilst your boss, Prauf, also known as Dr. Zoidberg, verbally abuses you before complaining about the state of heavy industry in Bracca like any self-respecting middle management boomer. After a short inspirational speech about the political and economic state of the planet under the Empire's rule, he dons the shiniest intergalactic FBI uniform before trying to convince Cal to commit workplace theft. Then, in a scene straight out of a Japanese salaryman's Friday night escapades, Cal and Prauf's spaceship is attacked and fondled by a large tentacle beast. In an attempt to save themselves, Cal commits Grand Theft Auto and steals a ship to fly into safety. Then, after boarding the nicest train in New York, Cal admits to Prauf he will be disappearing soon, likely on the account of his various felonies he has just committed. Following a brief schizophrenic episode, Cal awakes to find his train being searched by stormtroopers who tell the whole carriage that the vagabond responsible for vehicular theft must come forward or everyone will be game ended. Bravely, Prauf steps forward, and after reciting a few paragraphed messages of the Communist Manifesto, he promptly gets quickshotted by a lightsaber. Cal, then sent into an extreme fit of gamer rage, attacks the stormtroopers, who despite being members of the most elite military force in the galaxy, the stormtroopers failed to hit their one and only target at less than a meter's range, allowing Cal to run away. However, before he can escape, he runs into the Imperial Inquisitor, who despite being repeatedly hit with a lightsaber that can cut through 30-inch thick metal, seems relaxed enough to make snarky comments before her vital organs shut down.
Don't even try. Feeling scared? Getting worried? I will destroy you.
After this battle, Cal does the reasonable thing and jumps into a stranger's van piloted by a guy by the name of Grease, who after a long and storied career as a Danny DeVito lookalike, decided to try his hand at collaborating with intergalactic terrorists. On this ship he meets Cere, who informs him that the Jedi Council has fallen and in a very sane and reasonable move, asks the man who was nearly diced and sliced into a sushi roll only 10 minutes ago to join a new political movement to restore the Jedi Order. After abducting Cal, Cere takes him to a planet that has not been discovered by the Empire so that they will be safe. It's here that he meets BD-1, who despite being developed thousands of years in the future, still has less focal range than a 1961 IBM mainframe. Now we discover that Cal has a rare ability that allows him to perceive information from the Force whenever he touches something, also known as being able to use Wikipedia and use basic logical deduction skills. After running directly into the most conspicuous electricity line, Cal has a slight ouchie, and as such his new companion BD-1 makes a logical deduction to give Cal radioactive heroin to inject directly into his bloodstream to calm him down. After breaching the vault, Cal receives a message from Jedi Master Eno Cordova, telling him to visit the Zephyr homeworld, and in another display of Cal's stunning intellect, he decides to follow the instructions of a man in a recording he found in an abandoned building. On the way there, Cal discovers a mural showing that the Zepho have an interest in Dathomir, clearly foreshadowing Cal's future visit to Sophia. Cal then returns to the ship with BD-1 and kindly thanks Cere and Grease for saving him by allowing BD-1 to spill oil all over Grease's ship. However, before Grease can sue for property damage, Cal tells him that he discovered a list of 4 sensitive children, which Cordova developed through ruthlessly beating every child he saw and noting which ones cried the most. There's a storm on Zepho, so Grease decided to breach FAA regulations and fly directly into the eye of the storm to land. After exploring, Cal discovers that the Empire has found Zepho and sent stormtroopers to garrison the post. However, due to the Empire's extreme low-carb diet measures, they are unable to aim correctly.
I'm hungry. It's reducing the quality of my posture and aim. Doesn't surprise me. Rations at this posting are terrible. I'm just saying it's not my fault if I miss a target.
Cal boofs some ancient Zepho juju and hallucinates briefly, allowing him to find out that the residents of Zepho were under attack by the Empire. However, after finding a hidden tape, Cal finds out that due to hazardous conditions on Zepho, they are unable to achieve their goals for Project Augur and will only be leaving behind a small garrison. This allows Cal to sneak into the tomb of Elram to destroy some ancient artifacts and loot the tomb. After another schizophrenia episode, Cal remembers the place where he trained as a young Jedi, allowing him to rediscover his lost ability of pushing things, a skill which most children learn at around the age of 2, but forgot due to his severe fetal alcohol syndrome. Through rediscovering this power, Cal is able to enter a room where a recording of Cordova asks Cal to find out if the Zepho are in contact with the Kashyyyk by meeting Chieftain Tarful. After leaving the tomb, it turns out that the Empire finally started to question how hundreds of stormtroopers suddenly disappeared from Zepho the moment Cal arrived, and send an ATST to investigate, and despite being one of the most advanced pieces of military hardware in the galaxy, Cal single-handedly destroys it with his glow-in-the-dark crit stick. Now arriving at Kashyyyk, Cal once again uses his adapt critical thinking skills to command Grease to fly the starship into an active war zone because of Cordova's videotape message. Grease begrudgingly agrees but refuses to land, therefore Cal rationally decides to jump out of the ship, moving at hundreds of miles an hour into the ocean, which would kill any normal person. However, through the power of Allah, Cal survives without even a bruise. However, this is where Cal's luck ends, as it turns out he somehow failed to spot that he was landing in the middle of an AT-AT walker battle and makes a decision to single-handedly take down the 1,000-ton metal beasts. After venting into the main cabin and ass-blasting the stormtroopers, Cal engages in a bit of trolling by sneaking into the cockpit and bashing the pilot's head in like a toddler hitting pans together, allowing him to steal the AT-AT walker. However, the other AT-ATs know that Cal does not have a driver's license, and begins to brutally assault him with laser beams as a result. But Cal has the element of surprise and manages to take them out, but not before crashing his AT-AT walker during the process. Due to the lax safety standards of the Empire's equipment, no airbags are deployed and Cal whacks his pea-brain into the metal husk of the AT-AT. After destroying the most valuable asset the rebels have, Cal is confronted by Saw Gerrera, who is remarkably relaxed that their most effective weapon has just been converted into a pile of smoldering ash. However, Cal tries to make up for his third grand theft charge by assisting Gerrera in liberating a Wookiee slave labor camp. Of course, Cal, due to his sub-60 IQ and internal brain hemorrhaging as a result of smashing his skull into reinforced steel earlier, he doesn't listen and runs into the battle to become the intergalactic version of the Viet Cong. Cal enters the camp and after slicing and dicing a few stormtroopers, is cornered by a purge trooper, who clearly has not updated his fit since his 2008 Linkin Park concert visit. Although he manages to land a few hits, he's too busy thinking up one-liners to effectively hit Cal. This then leads to another common Cal W, allowing both Cal and Gerrera to finally liberate the camp. However, Chieftain Tarful is nowhere to be found, meaning we just improved human rights for no gain. We set course for Ordo Eris to discover an ancient Zeffo tomb before the Empire finds it. However, we are too late and learn that the Empire plans to bring Zeffo artifacts from Ordo Eris back to Coruscant, and has looted most of the Zeffo artifacts from the planet. In order to punish the Empire for supporting fake jobs such as archaeologist, Cal breaches the Empire's regional headquarters and slaughters everyone inside. After his war crime, Cal explores the planet some more and comes across an abandoned Zeffo village as well as a crash site. It's here that Cal encounters his first Birmingham resident. However, due to his diet consisting solely of fast food, his bone density is incredibly low, allowing him to easily break the creature in two. Once in the Imperial Quarry, Cal encounters a second sister who really needs to move on with her life. In a fit of gamer rage, he tries to kill Cal, but luckily he's saved by BD-1. Now that Cal is safely behind the laser wall, he can listen to her boring ass monologue without doing cardio at the same time. Once she's done saying her spiel, she reveals to Cal her real name Trilla. After running her mouth a little more, Cal gets all pissy, allowing her to sneak away as steam outputs from his ears. Sneaking through a hole in the wall, Cal finally comes across the Melodic Music headquarters, which has been repurposed as their Zeffo tomb. After climbing on top of a sarcophagus to deface a grave, Cal is attacked by another goofy-ass Empire starship, which shoots the support for the structure, causing Cal to plummet down, losing his lightsaber in the process. However, through the power of copious consumption of LSD, Cal once again hallucinates Jedi training and is able to use the Force to get it back, allowing him to land safely. After fondling some balls and putting them inside various orifices, Cal is able to raise a spire of Mictril, which contains a Zeffo guide to finding the Astrium that has been defaced by some rapscallion. However, Cal can only find it if he has a key. But on his way out, Cal is confronted by space pirates who knocks Cal out and impresses him by using a conveniently placed power cable, hidden by, you guessed it, a conveniently placed vent, next to a conveniently placed wall socket, which just so happens to activate the conveniently placed door. Luckily, due to the pirates' poor fiscal policy, the guards of the prison have gone on strike, allowing Cal to freely walk around. However, Cal accidentally finds himself in a gladiator arena, forcing him to battle Slough residents until he can be saved by Grease, who takes Cal back to Kashyyyk where he can finally meet up with Chieftain Tarful. He then tells us that Cordova found wisdom at the top of the origin tree. However, on his way to the top, Bowser intercepts him and starts to fire lasers from his spaceship at Cal, forcing him to take another route to the top. Good thing there's a conveniently placed giant chicken, allowing Cal to ride 1600 style, but once Cal arrives to the top of the tree, his relaxation is rudely interrupted by this Bowser looking motherfucker from earlier on, and after a battle so intense on sharp bricks, Cal manages to defeat his first Inquisitor as well as discover that Cordova believes the key to the vault containing the Zeffo artifacts to be on Dathomir and leaves Kashyyyk victorious. Over dinner, Cal and Cere discuss something about Cere handing over her Padawan to the Empire as something boring, but let's focus on the real tragedy. Look how much fucking salt is going on that meal. On Dathomir, Cal meets a Redditor, who due to his over 40,000 karma gained on r/history memes, is able to give an in-depth analysis on Dathomir and the Nine Sisters lore. It's here that we learn that Cal used to train with his Jedi Master during the Clone Wars, until Order 66 was executed, which led to Cal's Jedi Master dying defending Cal before he could reach Bracca. Due to the high levels of chemical pollution in Dathomir's air, Cal hallucinates a fight with his dead Jedi Master and destroys his lightsaber before he can regain consciousness and realise he shockingly experienced something bad in the place everyone told him not to go. After leaving for Ilum, Cal reaches the Jedi Temple and finds a cool ass glowing rock, which soon runs out of battery, causing Cal to break down like a pussy. However, after watching Cordova's Best Motivational Speech 3072 compilation, Cal decides not to be a lazy fuck and fixes his lightsaber with the stone, allowing him to epically pwn dozens of stormtroopers. Following nearly dying, Cal decides to return to the second most dangerous planet he's been to, Dathomir, showing once again his superior judgment. After boofing 10 pounds of yeast, Cal hallucinates a battle with his Jedi Master, allowing him to finally conquer his fears and enter the Vault of Dathomir, where he meets up with Merrin, who explains to Cal how the Jedi betrayed our people. It's here where Cal once more meets the Redditor, who after getting downvoted and losing 37,000 karma, throws a hissy fit and despite being at least 65, beats Cal's ass, with Cal only being saved by Merrin, who agrees to join up with Cal, despite her self-avowed racism against the Jedi, allowing him to finally acquire the Zepho Astrium artifact. Cal makes the reasonable decision to store one of the most important artifacts in the galaxy in a ship that's nearly been blown up a dozen times. Here Cal finds a holocron but is jump scared by Trilla, who after a corny ass monologue steals it from Cal, who once again enters a state of psychosis, giving us some lore on how Trilla came to work for the Empire, with us finding out that both her and her Jedi Master Seer were captured by the Empire and tortured by listening to Drake for 20 minutes straight, causing Trilla to understandably crack and join the dark side. After returning to the ship and giving Seer a brief motivational speech after she cries like a baby bitch, she and Cal sets a course for the Inquisitor Fortress and knights Cal as a Jedi as a reward for his bravery. Once he reaches the Inquisitor Fortress, Cal commits several acts of property damage and arson, causing the fortress to begin burning down, creating a leak, flooding the area and creating a distraction, allowing him to reach the fortress citadel, where once again Trilla appears out of nowhere to give a dramatic monologue while Cal patiently waits for her to finish. After an asshole-clenching battle, Cal's able to steal the holocron back off Trilla. All of a sudden, Darth Vader makes a cameo and enables Baby Wawa mode, killing both Seer and Trilla off in a violent fit of gamer rage. Cal runs away from Vader like a pussy, only for his ass to get beaten by Vader. Luckily for him, it turns out that Seer is invincible to 100 foot drops into lava as she appears out of nowhere to save Cal, allowing him to escape with the holocron, ending the game and showing us that the good guys win every time and never lose.